You start a new game, and the menu blinks. Easy, normal, hard. Nightmare. Most players shrug, think, well, why torture myself? And press normal. You twitch the stick all the way to the red-lettered end of the slider, the part that devs hid behind 2 confirmation pop-ups and a skull icon. Welcome to the secret version of your favorite games, the one buried under polite marketing blurbs and tutorial pop-ups. Here, bullets are counted by ear, parries by frame, dice rolls by prayer. Rage quit buttons sweat under thumbs. Snacks go stale during reload screens. And that first victory feels like carving your initials on a mountain. Tonight we're diving into 6 titles that only truly begin once you flip the difficulty to send help. We'll roam pitch-black metros with a cracked visor, spam Royal Guard and Dante Must Die, ration herbs in a haunted village, scavenge adhesive like oxygen in the Commonwealth, and pray every dice roll in Larian's honor mode doesn't trigger a save file obituary. Frustrating? Absolutely. Rewarding? The kind of yes that rattles your ribs when the credits finally roll. So dim the lights, tape an extra battery pack to your controller, and keep your panic snacks within arm's reach. Because after this video, normal is going to feel like a tutorial you forgot to skip. Welcome to Wolflore Chronicles, where we break down the best and toughest moments in gaming. If deep dive guides and challenge runs are your thing, hit like, tap subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss the next upload. Let's jump straight in. Metros. Ranger Hardcore. Listen for the click, then count to 0. The second you toggle Ranger Hardcore, Metro stops feeling like a shooter and reboots itself as a survival diary, written in frostbite and gunpowder. No HUD, no crosshair, no comfy pop-ups whispering, "Reload soon." Your only UI is Artyom's cracked watch, its faint glow ticking louder than any Geiger counter. You drop into the tunnel and the first thing you notice is silence. The usual chorus of waypoint pings and ammo counters is gone. Click. You just burned another round from a magazine you can't see. Better remember that number. The flashlight sputters, drains your universal battery, and the hissing mass filter reminds you that air, mundane, invisible air, now has a price tag. Ranger Hardcore doesn't allow checkpoint bravery. It sends you back to the last manual, save you bothered to scratch into the notebook at a campfire. Miss the save, the tunnel eats you whole. Combat is a math quiz where failure equals mauling. 5 cartridges left, that's 2 headshots and a mercy knife. A librarian lumbers forward, your palms flood. You breathe out, line up an iron sight you can barely see, and squeeze twice. 1 bullet lodges, the next misfires. The beast roars. You jam the bolt back, feeling every millimeter of the animation, praying the gun doesn't jam again. When the monster finally collapses, you're left with a single round and the realization you still need to cross the surface in a thunder-blasted gale. And yet the payoff hits like clean oxygen in a fresh filter, because when you emerge from a firefight alive, mass cracked, ammo nil, heart hammering, you don't just beat a level, you survived a nightmare. Ranger Hardcore strips away every safety net, so Metro's bleak beauty can shove its claws directly into your pulse, proving atmosphere isn't a backdrop, it's the main antagonist. Devil May Cry 5, when Dante Must Die turns the dance into a brawl. We already raved about Dr. Faust's hat in our speedrun episode, but none of that preps you for the Dante Must Die gauntlet. Capcom's not-so-subtle way of asking, how's your ego today? On lower tiers, the game is a stylish playground. You juggle demons, swap styles mid-combo, maybe miss a parry, and still strut away with an A rank. Crank the dial to Dante Must Die, and the playground locks its gates, chainsaws the swings, and sets the mulch on fire. Every enemy spawns with purple devil trigger locked and loaded. They hit harder, move faster, regenerate health if you slack, and Cruel Cherry on top gain entirely new strings that don't exist on lesser modes. Remember the slow poke Hell Antenora? Now he teleports behind you mid-windup, shouts, "Surprise!" and combos half your life bar before you can blink. Your controller grip evolves from casual thumbs to full-clawed death clutch. You're forced to parry with Royal Guard and audio cues alone, instant taunt cancel for orb economy, and weave Nero's breaker arms like you're speed-solving Rubik's Cubes at 120 beats per minute. Bosses become exams you study for. Memorize frame windows, map safe angles, count animation tells. When Virgil finally drops his Yamato in Mission 20, The victory roar echoing in your room is primal. No YouTube walkthrough can gift you that dopamine hit. Why put yourself through it? Because only here does the combat engine reveal its hidden gears. The input buffer, style swap, inertia physics, systems that felt generous on Son of Sparta, now demand surgical precision. Pull it off and the screen explodes into that coveted SSS stylish. Splash, proof you've wrangled Capcom's ballet of blades, guns, and taunts at full speed. Frustrating? Oh, utterly. Rewarding? Like landing a perfect guitar riff after weeks of wrist-aching practice. Dante Must Die isn't a difficulty setting, it's an audition. Pass it, and the game finally applauds. Resident Evil. When professional turns horror into accounting with zombies. Switch the Resident Evil slider from standard to its nastiest name. Madhouse, Professional, Village of Shadows, pick your poison. And the series mutates from spooky roller coaster into a hostile spreadsheet. Suddenly, every bullet, herb, and ink ribbon is a cell you balance against certain death. On normal, the item box feels bottomless, and handgun rounds rain from every vase. On Professional, Capcom confiscates half the ammo spawns, doubles grab damage, and shaves checkpoint frequency to good luck, champ. Even your knife durability in RE4 Remake plummets faster, daring you to parry a chainsaw once, maybe twice, before it snaps like cheap cutlery. Old school entries weaponize the save system. Ink ribbons drop roughly 1 per room on easy. On the toughest mode, you might find 3 per hour. Do you burn one before that hunter corridor, or trust your dodging? A 3-room gamble feels as tense as any boss fight, because a single mistimed lunge rewinds 40 minutes of corridor crawling. You're not just fighting monsters, you're negotiating with your own risk tolerance. RE Village cranks Lycans into parkour sprinters who flank from rooftops. Village of Shadows even rearranges spawn points, so muscle memory betrays you. Open a door expecting an empty hall, instead greet a clown car of molded. In RE 2 Remakes Hardcore, Mr. X stomps 50% faster, and hears your footsteps 2 rooms away, turning the RPD station into a hide-and-seek speedrun with a 10-foot-tall wall hack. Because survival horror only really horrifies when failure costs more than a quick reload. Every scarce shotgun shell you fire creates a mini origin story. That liquor forced me to burn my last round. Hope I can knife the next zombie. Resource management becomes character development. You feel Leon or Ethan growing desperate right alongside you. The payoff arrives when credits roll and the rank screen flashes a smug S+. Your item box is almost empty, your ribbon stash long gone, nerves frayed, but you've mastered the mansion, castle, or village on its own sadistic terms. Normal mode lets you witness the horror. Professional makes you survive it. And in Resident Evil, survival is the truest story you can tell. Fallout 4. Survival mode, where the Commonwealth stops being a theme park. Survival mode enabled. Are you sure? Click yes. The screen fades, and Boston's wasteland quietly swaps its welcome mat for a bear trap. No quick save, no mercy. Your F5 key, retired. The only way to bank progress is to sleep, preferably in a bed that isn't already full of someone else's skeleton. Hit a random landmine 10 minutes after leaving Sanctuary, and you respawn back at the mattress where you last drooled. Every hike feels like gambling a paycheck on a dice roll. Fast travel? Walk tourist. Want to turn in a quest on the opposite end of the map? Sling the rifle, pack extra stims, and hoof it past raider ambushes and legendary mire lurks. Suddenly, those shabby red rocket outposts become life-saving pit stops, not decoration. Settlement building turns from side hobby to highway infrastructure project. Vital signs online. Skip breakfast and your AP bar collapses. Ignore a mole rat bite and a fever slaps -2 to INT and plus 50% limb damage. Antibiotics are rarer than mini nukes. You'll barter 3 fusion cores for a single stim pack that cures disease. Every Nuka-Cola bottle cap feels like hospital insurance. Bullets weigh something now. Ammo adds ounces. Carry too many .308 rounds, and you stagger like a Brahmin with 2 heads of luggage. Do you haul the missile launcher or 3 days of food? The inventory screen becomes a moral philosophy seminar. Why put yourself through it? Because survival stitches roleplay and mechanics into one relentless heartbeat. The moment you limp back into Sanctuary at 3 a.m., starving but alive, scrap heap rifle held together by duct tape, the game stops being Fallout Disneyland and starts feeling like post-nuclear Oregon Trail. When you finally clear the glowing sea, a storm of green lightning battering your half-broken power armor, and reach a fresh mattress inside the BOS airship. That save prompt hits with the euphoria of finding civilization. Normal mode lets you cosplay as the sole survivor. Survival mode forces you to become one. Larian's Honor Mode. One save file, one heartbeat. Larian Studios looked at hardcore RPG fans and said, "You get one autosave. Use it wisely." In Divinity Original Sin 2 and Baldur's Gate 3, toggling Honor Mode fuses save and delete into the same button. Wipe once, your file self-immolates, and kicks you to the title screen with a smug pop-up. Better luck next time. Divinity Original Sin 2 dev sheet clocks a full playthrough at 60 to 80 hours. Baldur's Gate 3 stretches to 75 to 100 hours, even if you speed-click through every romance scene. That's a Netflix season, riding on a single dice roll. Honor Mode doesn't just punish death, it punishes mistakes. Misangle a fireball and tag your own red prince? Party wipe. Choose the wrong persuasion line in Act 3? The negotiation turns to steal, initiative rolls, and possibly a deleted save. Every choice is suddenly tactical. Spells become chess pieces. You hoard Revivify scrolls like family heirlooms. Resting spots are rationed. Long rests cost camp supplies, and supplies cost another risky detour. Permadeath makes the initiative tracker feel like Russian roulette. Rolling last isn't inconvenience, it's doomsday. On classic difficulty, you experiment. Polymorph wings, Mimi barrel explosions. Let's charm the troll for fun. On Honor, you run spreadsheets, optimal party comp, guaranteed CC chains, resistance-piercing damage types. Suddenly, help bonus actions, Potion of Speed, and pre-buff scrolls become lifelines you plan 3 encounters in advance. Because victory hits different when any misclick could have erased 70 hours. Finishing Honor Mode is a gamer's knighthood. Screenshots of the golden end card flood Reddit, threads praising flawless honor run, rack hundreds of upvotes. You don't just beat Rivellon or Farron, you carve your name into their mythos, one flawless turn at a time. Honor Mode isn't an extra challenge. It's the developer handing you the campaign on a crystal platter and whispering, "Don't drop it." Here's the dirty secret the difficulty menu never tells you. Easy and normal show you a game's content. The hardest setting shows you its character. Flip the dial to Ranger Hardcore and Metro Whispers through cracked plastic that every breath is borrowed. Skew the slider to Dante Must Die, and Devil May Cry 5 stops flirting. Now it wants proof you can actually dance. Resident Evil's Professional Mode turns green herbs into life insurance premiums. Fallout 4's Survival transforms fast travel tourism into a desperate road trip. And Larian's Honor Mode dares you to cradle a 100-hour epic in trembling hands, knowing one bad initiative roll will drop it, shatter it, and autosave the wreckage. You'll curse unskippable cutscenes, reload after soft locks, and wonder why you do this to yourself. Yet somewhere between the 100th dodge roll and the final, faultless parry, the clouds part. The mechanics click, the odds tilt, your heartbeat sinks to the game's metronome, and the moment you land that last headshot, parry, or natural 20, the rush doesn't feel like a windscreen. It feels like oxygen. Hard modes expose the design DNA. Ammo scarcity that forces smart aim, animation timings that demand frame-perfect inputs, overworlds that become planning boards instead of sightseeing tours. They're not extra content, they're the developer's original blueprint, stripped of the airport novel pleasantries, and handed to anyone stubborn enough to sign the waiver. So here's the challenge. Pick one title from today's roster, crank it to max, and play until you either break the game or it breaks you. Then drop a comment with your challenge story. If this video lit the masochist spark, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Next week, we're dissecting bosses that make RNG blush. Until then, may your filters stay fresh, your dice stay kind, and your save files stay existent. Wolflore Chronicles signing off. See you on Nightmare.